morning, all my crafty friends. It's Nana K here with NanaKDesigns.com and the Altered Book Nook on Etsy.com. Today, I'm just going to do some simple little things that you can do if you're new to crafting. This is really going to be I'm pointing this video towards new people who are just learning how to do some junk journaling, and of course their supplies are limited. I am blessed with tons of supplies, and then I realized, it's taken me years to accumulate, and somebody wanting to start out may not have a lot that they can start with. So today we're going to do 3 simple pockets. And if time allows, we're going to go from the 3 pockets to what we're going to put inside these pockets, or make something to match the pockets to go inside. So let's start with what you might need. You might need a pencil. If you've got a round punch like this, you could use that. If not, you can actually take something that is round. Let me see if I got something small round. I really don't see any. Yes, I do. I've got little round, like a heart, and just use the edge of that to draw out your punch to make your thumb tabs. So if you don't have a punch, you can use something that's round to make that. And the same thing with your corners. I've got a corner rounder punch, but if you don't have one, again, to make your corner round, you can just take something and use it as a stencil to make your round corners. So don't fret ever if you don't have one of these larger pieces. But anyway, if you got them, get them out. You might want some ink. I've got lots of distress ink, but you may just be limited to color. So I suggest, if you're going to purchase any color at all, the vintage photo is very versatile. So get you a vintage photo. You do not have to have this. You can actually use Q-tips, simple Q-tips to do some staining with, so that is possible if you don't have a sponge. And of course, a pack of index cards. You can get them from the Dollar Tree for $1, $1.25 now. Dollar General has these. I'm using the 4x6. You can use the smaller ones. It depends on what size journals you're making. But what we're doing today is just pre-prepping some things. This is what I'm calling my series of videos now, Junk Journaling 101, and then some of it is base pages, some of it's just tips and tricks. So today we are going to do Junk Journaling 101, tips and tricks using the index cards. Now, the other thing you might need, of course, you're going to need glue. Have some glue in hand. You could have some little pieces of cut out flowers and stuff that you've cut from magazines. Children's, you can cut graphic stuff out from children's storybooks and things of that nature that's gotten torn or tattered. Rather than throw the whole book up, cut out the graphics in it and use those in your little work of doing odds and ends. Now, my mother was a music teacher, so I have tons and tons of old pieces of sheet music. Some of it photocopied, some of it is just old pieces that's gotten worn and tattered. A lot of my sheet music is from 1938 up to 1952, so I've got some really old sheet music. The other thing I'm using is just scrap pieces of scrapbook paper. Or what you see mostly here are scrap pieces from journal kits that I purchased, and I had extra, but the scrapbook paper is fine. And then, of course, I am using some of the printed pages, one from a dictionary and then one from some book I've torn apart at some point in time. Look around your house. You should have some of these kinds of things laying around. Old magazines. You can use stuff from junk mail. Like maybe at Christmas you got the Swiss chocolate catalog, or any of the catalogs. Montgomery Ward still has a catalog. Any of those catalogs, cut stuff from those to use as clip art and bases and backgrounds for things that don't cost you a lot of money, because so you can do these things without spending a lot of money. That's why they call it junk journaling. Just in case you wonder where the name comes from, it stemmed from actually using discardable items around the home. Okay, so let's first go with our base that I started out with. Okay, the first one I did was I took a regular 4x6. When I've got them laid out like this, I decide how deep I want my pocket. This pocket, I wanted it 1.5. Well, it was just about 1.25, between 1.25 and 1.5. But anyway, I folded it up just like that. Just as a whole sheet, see? Folded it up. I took my bone folder and I kind of pressed my bottom down here. And then I kind of fold this way and just a slight pinch here, and I measure with my pencil where I want to cut it, and then I cut my thumb notch there. That's my bottom pocket. And then when I glue this page down in my book like so, I'm only going to glue on the back here, here, and here. Now you can turn this around this way if you prefer, but I'm only going to glue it here, 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 and here on the back. Therefore, I'm going to have a double pocket in my book when I glue this down. So that's my double pocket right there, one of my double pockets. The next one is a full sheet that we're going to work on. And we actually just folded it right in half. Same thing, fold it over, do a little pinch, and mark out your thumb notch. So this one is going to be a pocket that you can actually just glue in the book this way. You can actually only glue it in 3 and get a place to sit. But this one I'm just going to glue completely down to my page. So I'm telling you, that's why you're not seeing any additional thumb notches. That's why I use the whole thing. This is just going to be a pocket that's totally glued down, and we're only going to have the one pocket here. That's your single pocket. Then we have another type of double pocket, which I took the whole thing. I measured 2 inches. There's my mark. I folded it. I did the same thing. I pinched to get my center. And this is how I tell my center on my punch is these 2 lines here. I go right in the middle of it from where my center is, and I punch. And then I punched another one off to the side here. Didn't do any real measuring, just made sure it was above the pocket. And I will have a pull tag card. I'm going to have a card here that's going to have a pull tag or a dangle or something on it. And again, I'm only going to glue here, here, and here on this pocket. So what we're going to do first is do simple decorations on the pocket. And I think for this one in the background with a big line print, I want to use maybe some words, some text as my base. So make sure you got a pair of scissors handy. It's always good to have scissors. And if I flinch a little, guys, I am having problems with my hand. As you see, it's got a bandage on it. Please overlook it. It's one of those hazards of using my arms and hands a lot. Between the computer and me always cutting out clip art, and man, I cut out a lot of clip art. I think I've kind of damaged my hand a little. Okay, you do not have to put this all the way down if you don't want to. Since my piece is so large, I'm just going to glue the whole thing down and cut it out again. That's just the easiest thing for me. So right here, I use Berry Arts glue. This is Nana K's preferred glue, just so you know. I use the Berry Arts. And I'm probably going to have to play with it a little bit because I'm in my shop today for the first time in 3 or 4 days. I had my grandson all weekend, and then we had a birthday party yesterday. So I've been missing in action again, AWOL. But we're going to just try to make sure we've got a good clear path there. And there we go. Finally. I'll tell you something else you can do. on these cards, and I may run grab a few. If you've got napkins, just decorative napkins, you can also lay them down for background. So we may do that. I may run to the back and get some, because I've been meaning to pull my decorative napkins up here and start working with them. I've been working on my space a lot lately, a whole lot lately, trying to get things that are kind of stashed and pushed back in my supply room out, because for me, unfortunately, out of sight is out of mind, and I am the world's worst for that, and the older I get, the worse it gets. So I will tell you, out of sight, out of mind is a reality for me. So I may go up there and actually try, and I just clip the edge off a little, so I'm going to kind of straighten this out. And look, guys, for those of you that's following me, I actually went and got me a new blade. It's a little bigger than I usually use, but I had to get me a blade. I could not keep going without having a blade to work with. Now, the key today is, can I work with it with this sore arm? But that's okay. If not, we'll pull that old cutter out. I just don't want to cut out much, just a little bit where I just nip that edge, and that's a habit I have. I'll admit, I make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. Don't care how long you've been in this business, you still make mistakes. And I have a tendency when I'm cutting and I get to the end, I have a tendency to turn my scissors that way, and I got to stop doing it because that messes up everything. All right, so we've cut that out, and I still have got to go back and redo my little thumb notch here. Okay, got that out. So that's that first piece with some decorative done to it. At least it got rid of the lines. That was what I was after, getting rid of the lines in the background. We're going to hide the fact that this is an index card. That's the first thing I want to do. Now, I still want something pretty back there. This is where the napkin might come in handy. Hold on, let me get one. Give me just a second. I'll be back with a napkin. Okay, I got my napkin. I bought my napkins at Tuesday morning, and it's been a long time. So this is another whole little ball game that you learned in Junk Journaling 101. So we're just going to do a little showing here of how to break down the napkin to use it. You'll need Scotch tape or some kind of tape. Just tear off a little piece. Doesn't have to be big. And what I do is just that pulls off. That helps you pull off one of the plies. Okay, I don't use the ply, throw it away. Some people might use the ply, and you can use it to make like a crinkled background. That's another whole Junk Journal 101 class. We'll do that later. Okay, this is the next level, and this is a little harder because it's really tacked down to the sheet. Now I'm through with my tape, I think, so I got it started. But what you want to do now is carefully, can't express enough, pull that last ply off. These were 2-ply napkins. That's why you have 2 plies, and you pull them off. Again, I'm throwing away my second ply. I don't need it, but some people save theirs. Okay, so what you've ended up with is this beautiful napkin here. Now, what I want to do now is possibly just put a little bit of a design in the background. Could go with that big pretty flower. I like that, but the thing is, I don't want the bird because he's not going to fit on there. So I'm just going to tear. And you can take water and just wet this a little on this line. And the way you do that would be dab it with these Q-tips if you needed to. But I'm actually going to tear mine just myself because I want it to look kind of vintagey and rugged and junky. Yeah, I said the word. And kind of junky. Okay, tear that one off and set it aside. And what I want to get is some of these ragged edges and these flowers in my background like so. I don't want it perfectly perfect, if that makes sense. And I don't have any water, so I don't know what I would use to wet it. I didn't think I was going to do napkins, so I didn't come prepared, and I don't have water in my shop. So I may just do this little number here. Oh, I got something else I can use. I got my tear ruler here. Okay. I don't think that's what I'm going to use. I'm just going to use it just to kind of tear some more edges out here. And I'm going to put it down here. I'm just kind of tear raggedly here on that ragged edge there. Pull down some. Okay, that should be enough. Put that aside. Don't throw it away, because this can be used again. So instead of me balling it up, throwing it there, let me just gently fold what I'm not using up, because we may use it on the card that we put in here. Okay. That's something else to keep in mind. While you're designing, keep in mind other things that you're going to want. I don't want the wording because it's upside down to show. So I'm going to pull that little bit off. I'm going to continue to look at it. Okay. I do not want all my words covered, so we're going to come in here and come on around this pink flower, tearing out. I do not want all my words gone. Okay, so there's my piece. Now, what I'm going to do now is simply glue. I'm going to make sure I'm in the thing. I have a little mark here that shows me how to stay in this video, and I'm going to try. I'm going to glue it like this first. And you really, really need some decoupage or something like that, and I'll go get them out of my shop in just a minute. But I'm only going to see how I like this first before I decoupage over it. By putting it down, and I want it up kind of high. Okay, like so. Okay, and you see the wording is coming through that whitish background that you had. You can take your fingers and peel off more if you want to, just like that. I got to peel out where that punch was. Of course, you can always punch it again when it dries, but I'm peeling that out with fingernails. Okay. Gently. Now, gently, don't tear it. Just kind of rub over it like so. Okay, so now we've got this cute sprinkled up looking little background here. It's wet, so don't keep pushing on it, and that's what I have, okay? So now for the top, I've kind of got that. It needs to dry, okay? Like I say, you can come back with decoupage and decoupage the whole thing, which if this was a class on doing napkins, I would go ahead and show you the whole thing, but I'm not going to. And I did peel a little bit. That's something you got to be careful with. Anyway, that's done. Now, I'm not going to worry about this because it's going to be down. I'm going to go ahead now and glue my pocket, because I feel like I've got the first pocket kind of decorated the way I want it. Okay. Now we're going to actually cover this piece with something. Or you have a lot of options here. You can actually cover this with something else. You can use your stamp pad and rubber stamps that you might have. Hopefully you have a few of those. Me, I'm just going to look at my papers over here, and I'm going to find something that has a similar color, and I hope I can find more of that. That's a close color to that. That's a really pretty close color. So I'm going to measure this where it's pretty much going to cover the whole pocket. I'm going to cut it right there. And for this, I am going to bring out my handy dandy trimmer. On my pencil line. Sometimes it takes me a few seconds to get my bearings. Cut that. All right, once I've got this strip cut, which was the first piece of the strip, now I need to lay it just like this, right along that pocket line, like so. And I need to measure where I need to cut it again, which will be right here. So again, we're going to put it in our cutter and cut this. And your cutter may be different than mine. You will get used to exactly where you need to lay your piece in your cutter once you've used it a while. Okay, now, as you know, I've already glued the pocket down, and I've already punched my tab here. This one's got to have a tab punch, so I'm going to look at it on here first, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm probably just going to mark it here and here, which will give me a little idea when I'm doing my punch of where I need to punch it at. And for me, unfortunately, I've had to take my lamp down, but I'm hoping that's correct. We're going to look and see, and we are in good shape. And anything that might be showing out from underneath, we will just stain. But I think we've got that pretty well where we want it. All right, so glue that down. Make sure you get these corners and along that edge. That's always the key, is these edges. In the center there, it don't matter, not so much, but along these edges here, you do want your item glued down very well. Line it up. For me, it's always easier for me just to kind of tap at the bottom like this. And squeeze the glue out. Go. Okay, I got a little bit more this way, but it's not hanging over, so that's going to be something I need to stain. I'm going to use my Victorian Velvet. Now, you will find that I use Victorian Velvet and Vintage Photo probably more than any other color. So, alright, now the other thing I really would like here, I think, I'm trying to decide, do I want to remain square or if I want to round off these corners, but I think I'm going to trim this. Just me. I may totally mess up, but I think, excuse me, guys, I'm really having trouble holding things, so please forgive me. And I think I'm a whole lot better off if I try to use this and because of that problem. But sometimes when you're trying to cut a line that's this small, it's my thing doesn't want to act natural. And see, it's really it's trying to lock out there. So we're going to start right in the middle. Go that way. Come back again. I was able to do it. And I still think my pocket's closed, so that's perfect. Okay. That worked out. Just a little sliver is all I had to take off to get rid of what I wanted to get rid of. Don't like a lot of white space. If you're new to my channel, you'll discover that is a pet peeve. I'm not a white space person. Okay, I think I am going to go around all four corners and punch with my medium size. Hope it's not a mistake. But sometimes that just gives it a little variance, a little decorative element. Not that it really not going to make any difference in the function of your item, but I just kind of liked that rounded look. And this is probably going to go into my junk journal that I'm making and my Journey to a True Junk Journal series. And yes, we are still working on all those things. Alright, so that's that. I need just a tiny bit across here, and I need a little bit more glue here. So it did break loose after I cut it, so we're gonna do just a tiny bit right there. Squeeze it down. Perfect junk journal. Excuse me, perfect pocket. I'm sorry, junk journal. Alright, so now what's next? What are we going to do next? Well, I like that, but to me, it still needs a little bit of decorativeness. I'm sorry, I like to keep my needle in my glue when my heat's running really high. Okay, I've got a drawer here in front of me, and I have been really busy cutting out flowers. So I have a lot of flowers. The key though is going to be, is it going to match that one? And it doesn't have to, but I want it to be close. And these right here look like, to me, they've got very similar centers. So let's toss the roses and pull these out. It looks like I cut quite a few of these out. And let's take the stain. Okay, so I don't quite have the color I want. It's not as dark as I want it. So let me show you what I do. And I'm just going to use a piece of my index card. And I'm going to come in and I'm just going to stain my clip art just a tiny bit. Don't have to do a lot, but I am going to stain it a little darker to see if we can get somewhere close using my Victorian Rose and at least take it away from being so light. Let's see what we did. That's a lot better to me. Now, I don't know if you can see the difference. I don't know, but it's a lot better to me. Okay, so I got that done. Let's put I can still use that card for another pocket, so we're not going to throw it away. Just didn't want to mess my table up. All right, we're going to go with that. And I think I'm going to do kind of a stackable here. So I want to see what I got in shapes that might work with that. I still got a lot of my little ducks that I've been working on. I got some rabbits. I got ducks. I got little rabbits. I don't see anything really dark in these circles. I got stamps. The color here is going to be the issue because I'm not sure that I have anything dark enough. Like that. It's the same type of flower. No. Now, what I'm looking at, the drawer I'm looking at here is my drawer with my different shapes cut out. I've got shapes cut out here, and I've got strips, a few strips cut out here. So I might can find a strip that I like for that. I might not. We'll see. Okay, I'm thinking that's not going to work. That's not going to work. Just want a strip that's not got any graphics on it. Oh, I kind of like that. I kind of like that. So let me pair this and see what we end up with. Don't get all the purple off. I want a little bit of it to show. It makes it a little difficult when it's right there on the edge. Okay. And then take it. I'm sorry about my arm going across the front there, but that's where my pad is. Put this Victorian Rose on it. Now, where I'm going with this is I'm trying to make a little bit of a stack here on this pocket to give it some dimension and some eye appeal rather than just a plain pocket here. Okay, that's a little weird looking right there. Okay, my flower's going to go there. Okay, the last thing I want on this stack is a piece of word art. So I'm going to reach up here and get my drawer of word art. And let's see what we can find. This said, reach for the stars. Well, they kind of look like stars, so that's kind of pretty. Let's see what else we got. It's just some really pretty, vintagey, whatever makes your soul happy. You know, I kind of like that one. I like the size. Let's be there. This one says, be the light. Okay, I like that one too, and I like the size. That's what I'm going with. I'm not going to sit here and try to pick out a whole lot of stuff, but one other thing I'm going to do is try to find a small butterfly in the same kind of color tone. Right there. All right, so everything's blending and matching. So there we go. There's our stack. So we're going to start by laying everything kind of close to where we want it and start gluing down everything. Like this first one is going to go right here on there, like so. That's my base of my stack. And we want my flower to go right there. Now keep in mind that at the same time you're doing your pocket, it's a good idea to keep in mind that maybe you want to go ahead and pull out a piece of this, another one of these flowers, lay it aside, because, and maybe some of this piece right here, because you're probably going to want to do a journal card to match. So I took some pieces and I've laid them aside so that when I do my journal card, it's going to go in here, or my little card is going to go in here. It's a possibility that I can use some of these same elements so that everything is blending. Don't have to, but that's just an idea to keep in mind. Okay, next we're going to put this on, which goes down in this corner, like so. I'm definitely going to cover the little white edge. Nothing fancy, not going too deep into the thing. Like so. The other thing I like is that everything else is rounded. I have a really tiny rounder on this one. I am going to round the corner of this. I don't think I will regret it. I think it's going to be exactly what I really need to do. And at the same token, it breaks off some of that brown. That's okay. We're going to come back in with this pink Victorian Rose, right where I just punched those rounded corners. Just kind of stay the same. And I'm going to cut just a smither of this one off right here. Guys, I really don't like it, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the brown off and make it, use the pink all the way around it like this. Now there again, this is what happens. You know, you're looking at it and your eye is going to see things. And I have to make it look aesthetically correct for my own vision. And I just didn't like that, so we're going to go try that again. And round those corners again. And this time I can already tell you I like it a lot better. It looks more balanced. Come back with the pink. And this time I'm going to let it kind of overlap into that cream color a little, up to the brown line or the other brown frame. And I like that much better. It just looks more aesthetically correct to me. Of course, when you're doing yours, you do it how you want. But I just find that if my eye likes it, there's other people's eye that's going to catch some of the same things I'm catching. So this one's not too bad. I don't think I have to do a whole lot of color to this one. Just a little. Put the butterfly there. And I'm really wondering if maybe we should go with a little bit lighter butterfly, because I think we got too much of that same depth color. Maybe if we could find one that was a little more lavendery. Let's take a look and see. Yeah, I like that a little bit better. Not quite as big, plus the color is just not overwhelming. Again, just me. If you don't like it, when you're doing yours, do something different. But there we go. So there's our first pocket done. So again, remember, we're going to glue this in on the back. I'm going to hold this side, glue here, here, and here. This will go down on our page. This will remain open so that we're going to have a tag with a pull tuck here. And then we're going to put a tag right in here. I'm wondering if I got any journaling cards up here that I can just stick in to show you, but I don't. And I should have, before I ever started the video, I should have had a few journaling cards in here. But I don't, so we'll pull some in a little while. I've got some somewhere, or well, you know what? They're right here beside me. I got lots of journaling cards. Let's see if we can find one. Stick in there. No, take it back. Not journaling cards. These are just ephemera. It goes on. This is just stackable, so this is not my journaling card box. I might pull them out for something. don't have a journal card, but I don't. But I do have this journal card here that we can pull out. All right, there again, I told you. Well, I had to move the camera. There again, I told you we can actually use some of that same clip art. So we'll just go ahead and make the tag for this one while I got it in my hand. I'm going to fold this over and try to make it fold right directly in half. Like so. My desk is already getting a little crowded, guys. Okay, fold it there, and that one actually. All right, this is a Heartfelt Creations paper. It's a little thicker than some of my other papers, and it does have a tendency to crack a little. So nothing that the ink, as you see, didn't take care of immediately. Good old Distress ink. Thanks, Tim Holtz. It's really good stuff. I love my Distress ink. Okay, so there's that. So now you've got your little card that can go in that pocket. So as I said before, it would be a good idea to have some of the elements that we used prior to go with that. And I think to keep it simple, I'm just going to do, I don't think I want to use that and that. I think I'm just going to keep the card simple, go in again and on that card and just again, so mess up our pad. Go in and darken the leaf a little. Darken the leaves a little. Okay. Okay, come back over. Put this down, and I may have to find me some word art to go here. Just maybe a single word like love or hope or something like that. So let's grab the word art down here again. Whatever makes us so happy, do that. That's a cute one. I really like that one. Make of yourself a light. So that matches this one. So that's because that's the pockets going in. We're going to get a similar type one. I am not going to round this one. I am going to color it a little only. I might be getting to the point I might need to go buy me a refill. I use this a lot, Victorian Rose. And I really wish that before I had put that down, we had put this big piece down. If I can get that one little piece right there up without tearing it, and even if we tear it, it's no big deal. I've got another one of these down. That's another thing. If you tear something, there's to be sure something you can put over the tear. Not a problem. All right, let's put that down just like. Got to pull it up just a tiny bit more. Now this glue, this Berry Arts glue, really grabbed quick. So yeah, you're seeing a little bit of ripping, but it's not going to matter. We're going to glue all that back down. Yes, that's good. A little more so that our corner is not hanging over. That's what we want. All right, let's glue this down. Starting right there, just kind of give me some balance in that corner. Let it lay where it's going to lay. Make sure it's straight as you can get it. And go back up under your clip art and re-glue it. There you go. All better. All right. So now you've got a little journaling spot here. Over there. The only thing left, we got to do our side tag, but done that good. Something else you could put across here, if you have it, and that's just strictly if you have it. I always have a little bit laying around of lace. I'm trying to look and see what I got. I got lace and I got ribbon and lace and all that good stuff. Over here in this back corner. I'm looking a really thin one, if you're wondering why I'm out of the camera like I am, but I am looking a really thin piece of lace. And sometimes I just don't have a lot of thin. I use it so much, it's one of the first ones of mine that goes. Here's some. I got some little giblets, and that's another thing. I save my giblets because I never know when I might need them. And this one I have saved, and it's kind of thin. This one's got a pearl on it. It's going to make the card kind of thick. I don't want that. I want it to kind of stay flat. But you can actually add a piece of lace across that top and give it that little bit more decorative element. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to measure out a little bit more, find a good spot to cut it off, which is right about there. Definitely put everything back so that I'll have that strip for something else again, because we're sure that need will come up again. And for this, we're going to go with Fabri-Tac. I use Fabri-Tac to glue all lace, ribbons, anything fabric to my cardstock gets Fabri-Tac. Just holds better. It gives me time to reposition things, but it dries quickly. So once I have it in position, I don't have a lot of problem with it. I did think, because my husband's made me this glue stand to hold everything upside down, I thought this would have come out a lot easier. And there again, I am right under a lot of heat from that heater. But we'll see. Maybe it'll come on out. Oh, yeah. I might open a new bottle, I think. This is not funny. Never fails. Well, I'm just going to have to use this one. I don't like it to use it, but for the sake of the video, I'm going to try to use the Berry Arts. I may end up finding I like it better. Or have it die hard. Right across there, right across there. Hey, it's holding it. Oh, I want to get rid of that tape that was on the design though, so let's go where we got it, right on that edge there. I want to try to make sure that we're cutting the ribbon off at the same place, like in between there and in between there. But you know what? Oh, I was going to say we could just glue it around. We can't, because this is a pull-out card. Okay, so lay the scissors on the edge and clip. I'm not going to worry about the fact that it's fraying a little. That just gives it a little design element on the end. And that worked out fine. Okay, so lay that aside. And now the card, when it goes in, just has kind of a finished look to it to me. All right, our first pocket is done. We are 42 minutes into a video. I cannot believe it took that long to do that. But anyway, that's okay. We're going to continue working on these pockets. If you want to stay tuned, fine. If not, just make me a couple of these and come back and see what at some point in time and look at the rest of the video. I am going to be cutting off myself for a minute and work on some, get my materials back together. I like to keep a clean desk so that I'm not so scatterbrained looking when you guys are watching. So bear with me. We'll be right back after lunch to finish up this video. Okay, let's get on and work on these other two. And I'm going to make these other two real simple so we can get through them. This is the one that was just a simple pocket. The whole thing's going to be glued down. So you don't have to worry about this back part. And I am going to do a little bit of covering right in that little area there. Not a lot, but just enough that it's not so that you're just not seeing a lot of it. So I'm going to go in and just measure just a little piece here and cross that little piece there and cut that out. And I can cut that with this because that's the good thing about gingham check. You can measure all those lines and you ain't got to use anything but your scissors. And hopefully I can get it done. I had to take my arm brace off, but got it done. let's see what we end up with here. So what we're trying to do is glue right here so that when this is closed, you don't see anything. And you really could have just done a little round circle and that would have been fine too. But let's go for that. Okay, gluing, just gluing. Okay. Another piece of scrap that was just something I had printed out of a kit and used part of it. So we are definitely just using scraps. Okay. All right, so there, that looks good there. Now we're just going to have to find something to cover this front part. I think if I can find like a piece that I have actually got some floral print or something on, that's what I'm looking to find. I don't want fall print though. That's what that was. I got a piece from this piece of scrap from Hartel Creations, which is let me see where this is going to put us. I'm going to get some wording in there. I don't want any of the wording. You know what? We might can use that. Let me find my cutter. I don't know where I laid the thing down a while ago. That is crazy. Now, I don't have so much space for stuff to lay down, so I'm not sure what I've done with my cutter a few minutes ago. That is crazy. I usually put it right here. Oh, there it is. It just fell a little bit further over. Goodness. If it had been a snake, I would have been bitten. I wonder how many of you have ever heard that saying. That is an old saying from my neck of the woods. It's like my neck of the woods is an old saying. All right, so we cut that off. Hopefully that's going to tell me that we're not going to need to. Oh, isn't that awesome? We're going to be able to use the sign. Okay, so this piece of scrap I'm using, again, is from Hartel's Creations. It was a nautical design they had. I can't remember. Under the Sea, I believe, was the name of it. I think it's discontinued though, because this is a very old piece I had. My God, that's another thing I had said recently. I am really going to try to use up. I'm just going to do it this way first, and then I'll cut it down. Chunk my chunk back out. I'll pop that back out after I get this on. So let's just glue this. This pocket's going to be simple, real simple. And this is what I'm talking about taking what you've already got on hand and just doing some of your elements for your journals ahead of time. It doesn't take a lot. You just have to make time to do it. And I promise you, if you do take the time to do this, in the long run, you come out a whole lot better. You're going to be a whole lot more likely to complete your journals and things, because I have found, for me, that's just me, that if I don't have ephemera to put in it at the time I'm making it, or elements to put in it at the time I'm making it, sometimes I just absolutely forget to chunk it in there. So I have been trying to make myself a habit of going back and working on it. Okay, that looks great, guys, to me. I see nothing wrong with it. We're going to go ahead and ink up these edges a little bit. Yeah, with the same vintage rose here. May have to do a little bit of trimming right there, because I don't think I like. And I wanted to kind of go into the design a little. That's fine, but I got a little bit of white showing here. This looks like maybe this side of the piece that I used wasn't even. So I am going to try to trim it just a little. And because it is still a little bit wet with glue, may have a little difficulty. I do find that I have a little difficulty trimming when the glue is still damp. But you see, I'll pull it out and see, it's just a really small slither, but it got it off. And now I feel like I can stain it and it look good. This pocket, I am going to only corner the top up here. And only the top piece. I don't think I'm going to corner the bottom, and I am going to use the medium. I'm going to use the medium corner here. Okay, see, like that. Okay, then we're going to take the glue. This one is a simple pocket. We're going to glue down this edge. Glue down that edge. There you have it. See, that didn't take long at all. Not at all. Okay, so this pocket is ready to just put something in and pop in one of your journals. So let's lay that one aside. Now we're going to come to the double one. This is the one that's got one here and one here. Excuse me, I got to have a swallow of my hot chocolate. Don't that look good this morning or this afternoon? I'm so cold I had to warm up with that. Again, I think I'm going to turn this where the white is on this outside like this. I'm going to cover this piece, so we're going to find something to go on the inside again. I like the, I got a lace here. I like it. I got a strange color. I like this color. Let me see if we got something else that will go pretty on the outside of that. Like a dotted Swiss, a really small dotted Swiss. I think I've got enough of that. And that's the two I'm going to use here. So, we're going to cut this one approximately, it don't have to be the full page again because you're going to have a pocket down the lower part. So just kind of briefly mark it there. And it looks like it's going to come up to that orange line right there. It'll take us a second to cut it. Again, this is really easy. It's a really easy task. If you're a beginner, this is real easy to do. If you're kind of seasoned, what you do with this is you get these prep up a bunch of them, and then you'll have them ready when you're ready to make your journal, and you'll be able to just pop the right elements on it, add it with ephemera, whatever you need to do to dress it up once you get started on your actual journal you're going to put it in. So that's what that depends on. So we got that done. We're going to glue this one down. I'm just adding a little extra to them corners just to make sure them corners lay down. We're probably going to cut around these corners anyway, but just to be safe, I'll really press this down. Now we got that, and I'm going to do this piece here, and I think what I want to go with is this. Okay, so again, we're going to measure. It's going to be cut that way. Then we're going to measure, and it's going to be cut right here. Got it again. Okay. Lay that in there. There. And this one. There. So that should be the front piece we need. And again, we're going to have to pop our pockets out, but yep, let's get this down. And we'll glue the pocket, and then we'll just decorate these. I told y'all it was going to be a really simple one today, but somebody just starting out, I wanted to make sure that they had a little something that they could just really follow along with without having to go to any expenses. So that's been the purpose of this really simple video. Also to let even our seasoned people know that you can take these index cards, and that gives you a good base form so that you can actually make a bunch of these in a mass make. And if you're seasoned, you will know what a mass make is, but I will tell my new ones here. A mass make is where you take a cyclical project, like we were going to, so we're going to do all 3 of these, and we'll make as many as we can within like a 30-minute time frame. So that's a mass make. You get those made so that when you're ready to actually use them in projects, you've got the basis of these already done. Okay, so let's try to get it right in the same spot. There's my thumb there. Same thing again, we want to get a thumb there. Okay. Okay, now we're going to ink her up. And I probably should use vintage photo on this, but there's pink in it, so no foul, no harm. Okay. Now, what we're going to do next, we're going to decorate these pockets that we just did, these last 2. And that's what we're going to do for this video today. When I come back on my next video, or maybe at the end of this one, I may just take a segment and just actually attach it once I've got them done and just show you the finished products. But again, this is where you just go in and you'll grab, okay, so we're putting the pocket down. So now there is your base form for a double pocket. Again, remember, I punched this because we want 2 pockets. You're not going to do anything to the back of this. It's just when you get ready to glue this actually down to your signature, you will actually just glue those 3 sides. This one, this one, this one on the back. And go down. And these can be sideways. Okay, so just keep that in mind too. You're not just going to have, I mean, you can do it 2 ways. You don't have to just do it to the top. You can do it to the sides. Either way, either side. So you've got some versatility there, even though it's a very simple project. Okay, let's scramble in my clip art blocks. I've got 2 up here. Some really cute stuff. I don't want a sunflower. It's a little bit early. Let's, there's no such thing as too much chocolate. I kind of like that. Let's see what we got in here in the range of chocolate. If there's anything else about chocolate in my little stash here. I know it is because I wouldn't have had those if I didn't have some chocolate. This is just one of my little clip art stash boxes here. To be sure, I got some cutouts of some chocolate candy. Oh, I like that. That's kind of cute right there. I like that, but I would really rather have, there you go, something without that red in it. There we go. We don't want that red. No such thing as too much chocolate. And I like that. That looks good. So that, you know, just a simple, I'm going to go in and grab the vintage photo on this one. Make this edge brown. I'm going to go back and brown up that edge. Even though I done it pink earlier, I'm going to go back and kind of, I'm going to mix it up a little. Put some vintage photo on top. And I'm going to stop what I'm doing and go ahead and round these edges. I want the top and bottom rounded on this one. No, just the bottom, I think. No. Yeah, just the bottom. I'm going to leave the top square, round the bottom, come back with this vintage photo here and here, and just kind of across there. Stain it up a little. Here with this. Let's get this in the right position. Kind of centered in there. Yep, that's where we want it. Outside. All right, do we want anything in here? I had just a piece of chocolate candy. Oh, look at that. Just what I'm looking. Hmm. Now, this isn't going to be sting that much with a card in there, but sometimes the card's not going to be in it. So just to give it that little extra touch, I am going to add this piece to the top. Maybe I'll do a book with chocolate. Okay. Just kind of want to snip that out a little. Snip that off a little. And there we go. So that one's done. Now, you can still add lace to this, a bow. I wouldn't do a bow. I'm not going to do a butterfly because of the chocolate, but there's other things you can add to this. You could even add, like if you want to cut some of these pieces of candy off this thing, go ahead and add that back on. Make a frame off the side here. Make a frame. It depends on what kind of graphics you got. If you've got clip art that's got a lot of chocolate, that's the way to go. All right, so anyway, that's that. Keep in mind, we still got to do a journal card for here and here. And like I say, we're probably going to do that off the air. And then I'll just come back and show you the final results at the end of the video. Okay, one more. Let's get back to our beautiful seahorse. Well, no, excuse me, jellyfish. I was thinking there was one of these was a seahorse, but it's not. Chocolate time. Keep warming me up. All right. I'm not sure if I have anything else that I can cut more clip art from out of that. I don't have anything nautical, I do not think. So the only thing I would be able to do probably for this is be able to grab one of my shapes that's just off the wall here, like maybe that. Okay. Coming off this corner. This is let me see, what pocket? This was just a single pocket, so I really don't mind doing something kind of hanging off and jumping up here and grabbing my word art and see if I can find something that would fit. Just a piece of word. I like the word beautiful, so that's good. Pretty things, a little too big. Let's see what this one says. That says success. That says inspire and motivate. Family love. Beginning, family love. Let's see. I have got so much in here. Goodness. Got to be something that works. Nature laughs and flowers. That's not quite going to work with a water scene. Oh, I like this. Fierce, fun, and free. Now that's kind of cute. Okay, let's go with that. I done a lot of cutting over the weekend while I was tending to the baby. So I got a lot of word art now. We'll put the beautiful back up there. Excuse me just for a second. And I am going to keep this kind of asymmetrically off the side of the pocket because, like I said, that was a flat back going on to, it's going to go onto a page. And I do have possibly some more of this background right here. And what I may do is I may raise up some of it. But for right now, I just want a little strange little stack here. Let me look and see what I got in here without what else I had. Nothing there. I'm just looking to see if I got any more of that right handy so we can go ahead and decorate it up while we're doing this. Give me just a minute and I'm going to find some more. I promise something else to go there. Called Under the Sea. And on this piece, I got some little fish I could cut. And that's what I think I want to do. I think I might want to put a fish right there. I got another jellyfish, but I don't want a little jellyfish. I think I want to cut out one of these fish. So let's go for it. I'm going to start right here and save as much as I can because you see right here on this edge, there's all kinds of word art right here. So I'm not just going to go whacking this piece up. I am going to kind of be gentle. Not that I'll use the word best wishes, but I do some cards. So I'm going to save that strip. That's got a lot of words. And I'm going to cut into this piece right here. Cut the center out. Because I want one of these two fish, I feel sure. One of these two fish. And then I like this flower, so I'm going to cut it out here. I'm going to take a piece of that flower and use to give this some volume, some depth, some height. Just some something. So I don't know what the word I want to say. Just some something. Something. So do I want this fish? Well, I like this fish. I like both of them, but I want to be careful too because I want to keep this little border here. You see that cute little border right there? So in cutting two fish out, I'm going to be very careful to cut that out because I can cut that out and use it on something. And I am running out of this Under the Sea pages, so I do want to salvage what I can. All right, so now it's that wonderful time called fussy cutting. And with this one, I want it cut close. I'm not going to make it sticker style. I am going to try to cut this as closely as I can. I'm going to have to cut those funny fins off there. But we're going to cut this as close as we can to the actual fish. There's a lot of it you're not going to be able to get because he's kind of small, but I'm going to do my best. I'm trying not to drop it again. But that happens too. I just can't get all them little swirls on his tail, but I'm going to get what I need. And all we're just trying to hear is to give us some interest. Okay, so we got one fish. Let's see how he's going to look. Right about there. That right about there. That looks good. So let's put this one down first. Right about where we want it, right there. Fierce Fun Free. Okay, and then I'm going to bring my fish right about there. I'm not even going to glue the tail completely down. I'm just going to make it look there. Give it some volume. Do I want this one too? No, we'll save him for another day. And do I want to put this here? I don't think so. I think we'll save those two things for another project. So, because we still got to do the card for it. And I'll come back and show you that when it's done. But I still feel like this just needs a little something on this corner. So, I'm not sure. Maybe we do need to do this fish. If I do this fish, It's going to cover up. I don't want him to hang off, so it can't be that. I don't know what it's going to be, but it can't be that. Maybe a little label. I don't know if I've got one up here. That's funny because I've done all kinds of labels and things. I don't know what I'll do. Because I got all kinds of stack shapes here. What have we got, Lord? What have we got? And we can put there. Oh, I got this cute little orangey flowers that kind of blend. I kind of like that. Hey, you know what? I mean, it matches color-wise, so, and it just fills up that little space that I just felt like something needed to go there. So, goodness. There we go. Now I'm happy with it. It's funny how just one little thing can make the difference of being happy with the design or not. But that was it. So now that pocket's done, guys. All right, it's ready to go into our journal. Okay, so now the next thing on this, right now, we're going to end this video, but I'm going to come back and I will probably append it to the end of the video here. But I'm going to get off camera and I'm going to make a journal card for here. We'll make a journal card for here and for that. And we've already done this journal card, so we'll do one for there. So this is Nana Kay saying, keep it simple. Remember to keep it simple. You'll be a whole lot happier if you try to keep it simple, especially if you're just starting out. And go ahead and get all these kind of things made in volume. Take your time, take a little time out and make your journal on your tags, just blank tags. Get those made. Get some fussy cutting done. Get some word art cut out. Get some butterflies. Get some flowers cut out. Maybe make yourself a few of the hidden paper clips. I've done that with a lot of this stuff here. These are all hidden paper clips right here, ready to be decorated. But I got the bases done. Get some strips cut. If you've got a punch, a die machine, go ahead and cut you out some dies. Have all that stuff ready around your desk, and it'll sure make your time go a lot faster when you're actually putting this stuff together. So this is Nana Kay saying, visit us again for Journaling 101. Tips and tricks, or Journaling 101 base pages. We have got both of those going now, so just watch for those in my videos, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye bye. Have a blessed evening.